Here is your clue for today on what we're going to try to find. Infinity pool, a swimming pool in which the top of the water is at the same level as the edges surrounding the pool and seems to someone in the pool to stretch to the horizon, the point where the land appears to join the sky. How good does that sound? But before we go off and try to find that, it's imperative that up here in the mountains that you stop into Springwood and you fuel up on some finger buns. It is a must. So as I was cruising up the Great Western Highway here, I was looking at the temperature and hasn't moved too much. At Glenbrook it was 12 and up here at Springwood it is 11. So it'll be interesting to see what it is up at Leura. So give me 15 minutes, I'll tuck into these, polish them off, and then we'll start again once we get up to stunning Leura. Just taken off from the bakery here in Springwood, and we're going to cruise down the main stretch here. See the locals doing their morning walks, all rugged up. There's the station just there. It's a nice little pub here that we've eaten at before. A couple of great shops along the left hand side here, dress shops and jewellery shops that are very popular on the weekends. And from here we turn right, we make our way back on to the Great Western Highway and a quick left. And now we'll do the slow journey up to Leura. We'll just stick it on 70 on the cruise control. We'll have a nice leisurely drive up before we start the hunt for the infinity pool. It's 11 degrees. So I'll see you when we get up into Leura. I hope you guys are rugged up because that's the weather I'm heading into. It is now 10 degrees. We're just going through Lawson. There was a little bit of sun back there at Springwood, but not anymore. There is fog here, mist, light drizzle. Look at that, you can't even see. Barely see the trees over there near the railway line. Plenty of trucks out at this time of the morning. It is 8 AM. I'll take you guys for a bit of a cruise down Leura Mall once we get up there. Just going through Wentworth Falls now. Just past the turnoff for the Wentworth Falls Hospital, the old sanatorium down there that we explored back in January 2018. Barely see in front of you. Okay, we're coming up to Leura now. It is 8 degrees. Hey! Off this little slip road. So this is what they call Leura Mall. I used to love walking up here with Jules, especially in winter. You hop into all these little stores, they've got the heaters running. This is my second favourite spot up here. Actually, no, it's my first. Leura's my first, Katoomba's my second, and Springwood is my third. Geez, you can hardly see anything. There is no Leura Mall. It's disappeared. So this little stretch down here is what's considered as the mall. You go up one side and then you come down the other. Wow, 7 degrees. I don't know if you can see there on the sat nav. Now, when we did Leura Falls in 2022, down here was blocked off due to land slippage. So we'll head down here, and if it's still blocked off 2 years on, then I'll have to come in through the Katoomba end. I'll just wait till this car passes me. That's some fog for you. Look at that. Well, there wasn't much to see there. Down the bottom here you turn right and it takes you down to the Leura Cascades car park. That's where we started the walk from a few years back. But we had parked on the Katoomba end. So if it's still blocked, I'm going to have to do the dash around the other side. Mate, I can't see anything. Alright, here we go. Leura Cascades. There's no sign saying that. It's blocked off this road. So maybe it has reopened. How am I going to do this walk? I can barely see anything in front of me. No parking on Cliff Drive. Yeah, so from here, that was blocked off here. So we walked down this road. And there should be a little place you enter on the left-hand side here that takes you to the top of Bridal Lookout. Bridal Falls Lookout. Should be a sign down here somewhere. There, right there. Okay, so that's the way we did all those lookouts, Tarpian, Elysian, when we had our explore to Gordon Falls that time. So this is blocked off. Leura Cascades. Okay, the car park is blocked off. There is no parking in Leura Cascades. So I'm going to have to, and they said no parking on Cliff Drive. This is going to be interesting. I don't know where I'm going to have to park, so. Alright, let me find somewhere up here where I can hop out of the car. Is that blocked? Yep, that's blocked as well. And then we'll start the trek. This is what we're facing. I've just parked here on this little slip road, and I have noticed some signs down here that say the track is closed. I can hear some chainsaw activity off the edge over there. So back in 2022 we did Leura Falls, a very secretive falls to get to. That was on the Queen's birthday long weekend, the June long weekend. And then sadly, 3 months after, our Queen Elizabeth passed away. So, now was it here? Track closed due to landslide. I think this is where we came up. See, we started the walk down that way and we came up this way. I'll get a few pictures of these signs at the end of the day. We're going to do this in reverse today to try to find this infinity pool. We're going to start from this end and then we're going to make our way back up Bridal Vale Falls to Leura Cascades and then come through the car park. Let's just see what they mean by landslip. Oh, I've got a lookout here, because if it is too dangerous then we won't do it. Okay, well, we can't see anything here. That's the abyss down there. Part of the lookout or not? Yeah, this is just part of the lookout as well. Unfortunately, I won't be getting any pictures of the view, but I can hear the water roaring down here. I'll have to remember to wipe the lens every so often. I've just got to read this sign again up here and see what it says. Okay, to Leura Forest and walking tracks, Leura Cascades and amphitheatre track. That's where we need to get to. We need to get onto that track. The amphitheatre track. I'll head down there. I'm just going to take a few pictures from here. I've brought the flashlight with me today, so this is why it is blocked off. Here's the landslip. It's quite a hefty little landslip, this one. So the stairs have fallen down on this end, and we get a picture of this. And we've got another gate up that other side as well. It did say I could start this walk a little bit further up, so I might be able to get down to it. That's what it looks like. So they must have had a lot of rain up here in the last couple of months. Look at that. So you can see part of the step down there. So it's fallen all the way down. Okay, so there's another gate. So there was a sign up there saying detour, so I still might be able to get down to the amphitheatre track. It might not be closed. Just that little section there might have been closed. Or maybe that's where it is. Okay, here it is down here. Alright, so it is closed. Okay, I've got Leura Cascades via amphitheatre tracks, Leura Forest, going all the way to Scenic World. From here on in, I gather we're on our own. This is Friday today, people are working, so I highly doubt I'm going to see too many people on this track. So I just met 3 other people that was staying up here. So they've come down illegally as well. And they told me that there's some massive landslides down here. You can get past the first one, but you can't get through the one after that. So this might be a short journey on this end. You may have to get back onto Cliff Drive and attack this from Leura Cascades way. That is the quicker way. Look at that. How cool does that look? No room for error today. Might as well turn the torch on now, I think. I brought it in the car with me, the torch, and I wasn't going to take it with me, but I'm glad I did now. There's a nice little rest area here. And we've got something up here. 22nd of the 2nd, 1911, is it? It's either 1914 or 1911. Fantastic look down there. Wow. The bush comes alive in the rain. So when I was reading up about the infinity pool, it did say not to go down when it's raining. So that's going to be interesting. We made it to the base of Leura Falls a few years back. What I didn't realise then was the infinity pool is on top of Leura Falls. So my research this week was how to get to the top of Leura Falls. So I know exactly where to go. I remember passing a few of these markers that they mention. Look at this tree. Wow. Mate, even with the torch, I'm not quite sure what you guys can see because there's a lot of fog down here. We've got a sign down here. Still yet to see any landslips. Fern Bower, that's where we're at. don't think the flashlight, apart from if I shine it down, even I can barely see in front of me. So forget about what's coming through on the camera. Looks like these creeks are going to be full. Okay, looks like we've got some land slippage down here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So there's where the track is over there. There's part of the railing down there. I just don't know if I make it through here, if there's going to be any more landslips. Let me suss out the situation and see what happens. So I could see some footprints just up here, so people have come down this way. From here I can see footprints again in the dirt here. Someone's come up the other way. You see a big shoe print there. Here's the stairs, what's left of the stairs. So this is what's taken down the path here. I gather a raging torrent of water through there. Alright, we're back on the path. You see where the steps did come down through the top there. Let's see how stable this bridge is. She looks alright, and went back down on stairs here. Alright, first little part navigated. I'm not quite sure if that was the landslip they spoke about you could get through, and the second one is inaccessible. We'll soon find out. Actually, I should have got some pictures from there. 1 minute. Just going to start the descent down now. Okay, so here, oh no, we're still okay. There's a nice ladder, should take a picture of. It is raining, but it's not heavy. So I am going to be wet by the time I get back to the vehicle. How beautiful is that? Oh, we've got a lyrebird there. Can you see him? Female. Female lyrebird, just perched on the rock there. There it is. Climbing up the mountain. Ooh, look down here. It's not going to pose a problem for us, but got a whole bunch of trees down there that have been swept down. It's dark through here. Well, so far so good. Nice little waterfall here. I don't think I've got a lot of power left in this flashlight. Rich history. I'll turn this off a little bit to conserve some energy, I think. Look at this huge ass rock. Okay, we might be okay now, because here is where the chain starts on the other side. So from here on in, where we need to go, it looks like it's open. So this is the staircase that takes you down to Leura Falls. So we don't need to do that today. That's where we went back in 2022 with Jules. And there's an abandoned track just off to the left once you get to another one of these signs. Track temporarily closed due to conditions or works. So from here on in, unless there's been any more landslides, we might be okay. We've just come up a very dark part of the track here. We're finally going to see some light now. See where people have graffitied. So it looks like the walk down to Leura, to the base of Leura Falls, is open as well, because there was no chain stopping you from going down. I remember this sign. This was a sign saying not to stop, just continue going for the next 100 meters because it's a high risk fall area. We need a picture of that, don't we? When we're old and in our rocking chair, we can look back with amazement of the things that we once used to be able to do. Ooh, it's cold up here. Right on the edge of the cliff. See where the collapse is here? So this rock is just continuously crumbling away. Excuse if the camera's got a little bit of water on it. I'll just have to wait until I stop somewhere and dry it off. What about now? Okay, so this is the bit here. This is where it tells you for the next 100 meters don't stop, just continuously go. It is roaring. Leura Falls, if that's what is making that noise down there, is absolutely pumping. If it looks like I'm on the edge of a cliff here, you guessed right. I reckon we could dodge a falling rock. I reckon we could. Although if you look at this railing, it looks like it's intact. There's no bend on it. It's not like there's any rocks that have fallen and put damage on this railing. Okay, we're going to head back down into darkness here, so I'll conserve a little bit of battery power and start up on the other side. I have to show you guys this beautiful waterfall here. The lens is going to get wet as soon as I pan up, but you'll get the idea. This camera doesn't like light at all. When there's a light source at the top of something, it hates it. I wonder if Leura Cascades is bursting at the seam, because that's been damaged in the past as well, those stairs coming down. So we may even have to come back this way. It's raining pretty heavy here. Okay, if I remember correctly here, we stumbled upon the abandoned lookout that looks down to Leura Falls. You notice the track goes up here, but back then I was a little bit confused why there's a track that leads down here and then heads back up again. Now over this railing here used to be a lookout. I don't know if we're going to be able to see anything, but this down here was, see, some stairs. So I noticed these back in 2022 as well. This looks, oh, this is very slippery here. Pine needles are not the safest thing to walk on. Alright, see the old fence here? And this is Leura Falls. Oh yeah, we can see it. Beautiful. Okay, there's a hell of a lot of water that's coming down Leura Falls. And that's where we have to get to. That's where the infinity pool is, on top of there. I was at the base of this 2 years ago. Right down there is where I've got pictures of myself. So this is the abandoned lookout of Leura Falls. It's going to be sketchy going down that river system, that creek. As for anything else, you can't see a thing. It's just a whiteout. Absolute whiteout. That is magnificent. You can see the railing back up there. So if you ever do this walk once this track reopens and you're coming along that railing, just be mindful on the left hand side you do have the Leura Falls abandoned lookout. I hope that's coming through the camera, because what I can see is absolutely spectacular. I'm now starting to think we're not going to be able to make it down to the pool. Look how much water is down here. Wow. Okay, so that's Weeping Rock. I have never seen Weeping Rock flowing like that. So this is where we have to go. This is the marker. This is where they tell you to climb through the fence here and head down this track here. So that's Bridal Falls just up there. We're going to head up there to go home. But this thing here is Weeping Rock. We took a few pictures of this with Jules a couple of years ago, not knowing that the infinity pool was down here. I got a few pictures from back then on top of there. If we could cross here, then there is a track that heads down there. I'm going to give it a crack. I'm pretty sure I could cross there, on there, and up on there. And that's Bridal Falls up the top there. It's going to make a spectacular walk back up, because I could see it coming down the side of the staircase there. I think this was an old bridge. If you have a look at the platform there, that would have been an old bridge to get across. All right, we did that safely. If we get across here, and work our way down. I'm sure I read that we have to keep this creek on the left of us. See, there's a sign there. Maybe I need to cross back over. I don't know where this takes you. I'm sure in my notes it says stay on the right hand side. Okay, so there's the rock shelf. You see the little bit of a path? I think there's an old sewer system down there. So I needed to go over that way. So I've got to go in behind that rock. If I jump down here, can I do it or not? There's that warning sign. I'm going to see if I can get down here and make my way across and jump over that way. So I've dropped down just here. Now I've just got to work out a safe way to cross. Down here seems to be a big drop down there, and I'm not going to be able to get down there. I'm going to have to get through this bit of water here, in through that gap, and then jump up on top. So I managed to get through, but it's not the easiest thing, so I wouldn't recommend it. But there's the old sewer system. You see the concrete block there? Or maybe you can't, hang on. That concrete block there. And you've got a sign actually saying infinity pool access warning. And you've got another one there. So we're going to try to make it close to that down here. Through this crevice. I don't know how deep the water is here. Only one way to find out, eh? All right, we have done it. Not the conventional way, but effective just the same. So apparently these are markers. This used to be an old sewer system. I think we'll be able to get down. Let's film a little bit of the way. See how we go. There was something here. See, they got bolts there. Might have been a railing here once upon a time. So you got concrete here. So there may have been a path once upon a time to get down to the pool. You see the steps down here. Alright, says to follow that. Hit the creek on the left hand side. I'm having massive trouble with this camera. It's waterlogged and it's just taken me 10 minutes to get it back on track. It looks like we're going to have to do the rest of the way with the camera on the mobile phone. My Lumix camera has been waterlogged and it won't switch on. There's a couple of old sewerage tank covers. Oh, there's the rope, okay. So I've heard about this. So there's the pool. Right there. The rope gets you down to here. And then I'm going to see if I can cross over there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to film this little bit, so give me a second. So that's how close it is. When you think about it, you can see Weeping Rock. It's just up there. And the infinity pool is just there. So that is on top of Leura Falls. Let's see if we can get down this rope. So I didn't even use the rope, I just used the pipe and the rock with my hands to get down. Let me tell you, it is freezing here. So that's the infinity pool right here. I wonder how many people have filmed it with this amount of water coming down. So the lookout must be up there. That's where I was looking down, I think. There is another place that you can hop down there, but I think the current's too strong for me to cross.
We've got to be smart about this. We can't be stupid. But this is where people sit, right here. And then you get that picture of the canyon through there. Wild and woolly place, let me tell you. Wondering if I can cross there and maybe shimmy slide down there. Might give that a crack. I managed to cross safely up the top there and come down here where it's not so slippery, because under here it's really slippery. And I've got some footholds here, so I should be okay. Got some stairs down here, so people have come down here. I need my left hand to get down here, but by covering the lens. All right. I don't think we'll press our luck anymore. That's as close as we'll get. Otherwise we'll fall right off the edge. There's the base of Leura Falls. So there's the track that brings you down. And I was standing under here. And I think it's that tree up there where the abandoned lookout is. Oh, the sun's coming out. There's Mount Solitary in the distance. Alright, my feet are freezing. So it looks like by the time I get back up to the car, we might have a little bit of sun. Alright, that's it fellas from down here at the infinity pool. We're going to make our way back up now. And we'll see if we can get some video of Bridal Falls, Leura Cascades, and see if we can make it back to the car up through the car park. I'm just going to navigate this last little bit to make it up there. Wow. Let me tell you, that was hairy. That's a fantastic shot up through there, isn't it? Woohoo! The infinity pool has an unfenced cliff edge. Creek environs are slippery. Canyon section can flood at short notice after rain. There are minimal refuge and escapes. Water quality is not suitable for drinking and not recommended for swimming. Yet you see so many pictures of people bathing in there. Weeping Rock at its finest. There's some really old carved names. Tiller and more. Let's get some warmth into these feet of mine. From here it should be relatively easy to get back home, although we do have to climb. So we'll be going up from here on in, but it's not a long journey. I'd say 1 kilometre, 2 kilometres at the most. Look at Bridal Falls, wow. This is why I love coming out after substantial rain. Bridal Vale, you're putting on a show, darling. I feel like I'm in an episode of Planet of the Apes. Alright, let's go. Let's see if we can get on top of Bridal Vale. A big climb up. Although this part of the track looks good. No landslips on this end. Another manhole. Must have been the sewerage system for Leura back in the day, I gather. Or there to be sewer pipes running down this way. I know I'll be getting a lot better footage with this camera. For some reason, the light is far better with this phone camera than my Lumix. And some of you might be asking, why don't I just film with this camera? You have no idea how quickly my hard drives run out with space when you use high-end cameras. That Lumix is 720p and it's just perfect enough that it films good and it doesn't take up too much room. See you later, fella. I'm heading up on top. So the Cascades should be brimming with water today up here. So as I mentioned at the start of the day, I did this in reverse order this time around. Whereas when me and Jules came, we did the Leura Cascades first, then Bridal Vale, Weeping Rock, and the base of Leura Falls. You got a track heading that way, but we're going to head up here. You can see how high the staircases go. And I'm puffing already, so I'll turn back on when I've reached the top. Just seen some people down there. Looks like they've got a guide maybe. There was an Asian couple and then behind them what looked to be some sort of guide. So I saw 3 people at the start of the day and 3 people at the end of the day. This rain would turn a lot of people off, but not me. Last night when I went to bed, I was praying that it was raining up here at Leura. 5:30 I woke up. 6 o'clock I left the beaches. Stopped in at Springwood, as you know. Got my mandatory finger buns. And then proceeded to head up the stunning Leura. Now my dilemma is, what am I going to have for lunch? Last time I was at the Alexandra Hotel when I did Gordon Falls, and I got the proper Parmigiana. I don't think I'll do that today. Might grab some fish and chips. God, so there's staircases. Be mindful once the track opens again, if you decide to do it the way I have, this is the harder way. You'll be climbing. And if you remember here, 2 years ago, this chain was along here. Me and Jules had to sneak under, or sneak around. Leura Cascades picnic area. This way or that way. I'm not quite sure which way me and Jules came. I think we came from there. We've got Evelyn's lookout here. Nice to meet you, Evelyn. Can't see all that much, but I know there's one lookout right on top of Bridal Vale, so we'll head up to that one. Actually, we've got to make sure that we go past the Cascades, don't we? Okay, so this is just another lookout. Oh no, this is the way. Yeah, this is the way. Then this should lead us to the Cascades. And this is a lot better lookout than that last one. That's Bridal, my friends. And I was right down the base there. Leura Creek. The lookout for Bridal is up the top there, but you can't see it. I just met another couple here, and they came down past Leura Cascades, which is just here. So I wonder if this little bit down here is open. I remember me and Jules went around the corner there to get some pictures. We'll go see if that's the case. We've got some more engravings here of people from days gone by, the ghosts of the past. Who knows how old. Okay, so this lookout is closed. Okay, so it is closed down here. I asked them if it was closed, and they said, oh, it's just a lookout that's closed. Okay. Lookout closed, track is open, detour in place. Why is the lookout closed? It's not wet concrete, is it? While we're here, we've got to take some footage here. So they're building something here. No work today for the national parks. It's not really that much of a lookout anyway. I think this was the lookout that we got Mount Solitary in the background, yeah. So you can see a little bit of the creek running down there, but this is more for Mount Solitary. You can't see it today, but I would say where we were just a minute ago, that's a far better lookout for Bridal than this one here. Rio, we've got Rio here. Alright, Leura Cascades. Construction site. Keep out. And now we're just going to follow the creek back up to the car park, and we're home. We're back to the car, aren't you? Okay, so the chain is on this, so they've blocked this off again. You can see how high the water's got. Have a look at this. Wow. There would have been a roaring torrent down through here. And this, my friends, is Leura Cascades. Good old debris. Look how bent it is. Can you imagine the torrent of water that came down through here for that to go like that? You're not going to get a better view of Leura Cascades than that. Is an old lamp pole. I think I can remember that from a couple of years ago. It's no longer in service, but I'd say there would have been lights down here. You see where the electrical cables would have fed up to it. Now the short walk back up to the car park. Now this is a side, isn't it? Got an old electricity tower here. I don't think it's working anymore. It would have been a nice nighttime walk here once upon a time. It's just not worth fixing it because with the amount of rain that comes down through here, I don't think you could make it waterproof enough. Couple of other poles here that I missed. One there and one next to it, with the electricity tower in front of that one. So it's the first time I'm wearing these boomerang thongs today. I haven't worn this particular colorway before. I call them my Oreo vanilla malt flip-flops. I'll show you what they look like. And as per usual, they have held up superb. So it looks like an Oreo biscuit there at the front there, and the vanilla malt heels with the electric blue straps. First time wearing these. And there is nothing more comfortable than these boomerangs. And as for the hat, this is one of my older ones. God will judge our enemies. We'll arrange the meeting. Si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. That was back in my days when I was collecting all sorts of knives and patches and whatnot. I've stopped that a few years ago. Then started up a sunglasses collection. But these days I don't really buy too much. I only really buy merch that I can actually wear and use, such as thongs and shades, stuff like that. Things for sitting behind a glass cabinet. I think those days are pretty much gone now. Getting on a little bit in age, so you've just got to be careful what you buy. Looks like a track counter here, notifying the national parks of how many people come on through. And that's pretty much about it. I think up here there is a crossroads here where if you turn right, you can go up to Bridal Lookout, and then if you continue, but the track is closed, that's where all those lookouts are. As I mentioned at the start of the day, Tarpian, Elsian, Gordon Falls Lookout, and there was one more along there, but I forget what it's called. It was a while ago. Just spoke to 3 other people who asked me which way I came, but they're not willing to do the long haul down to Bridal and back up the big steps. They would have if the track was open the way I came down, but I told them it's closed due to landslips, so they said, no, we'll just head straight back up here. There was a mature lady there. And all she could do was stare at my feet. I don't think she wanted to say anything, just in case I was Indigenous or something, but all she could do was just stare at my thongs. She was itching to say something. Now up here, I'm pretty sure this was the sign. There was a sign up here saying there was baths up here once upon a time. Let's have a look. How are you? Good one. Oh, you got some regen work here. Yeah, down here somewhere. Whoa, slippery. There was a picture down here. Baths, that's it, yeah. I can't read it though. Katoomba Baths, 1913. So right here I got it. You could swim back in the day. Awesome. There's another little sign here. Jeez, no one's been down here to mow this area at all. Oh, here's a good picture. Katoomba Baths.
That's how the folk enjoying themselves back in the day, with the old car up the top there. A few people sitting in it. So that's depicting the bridge in the distance. I think I mentioned 2 years ago how much the trees have grown that you can't make out the bridge anymore. I gather this picture was taken from here. The fence, maybe up there, is where it was taken, just on the edge there. Yeah, how close does the bridge look to this water? I can't see this cutout section. So maybe it did just go across. If you look down here. So he may have been in the water, or just a close-up shot from back over there. There was a landslip up there last time I remember, because the road was closed. Got some more water coming down there. And there's some more falls up there I can recall taking some pictures of with Jules back then as well. I'll just get a picture of this shot here and then head up through the car park, and that's it, fellas and felines. Our job is complete today. Let's go. Let's go. So no access at all into the car park down here. There's those ladies that I was talking to. Oh, these are two upper Cascades, that's right. We'll just get a quick bit of video of these, because they're absolutely roaring as well. The rain has started again. Bit of light drizzle. Leura Cascades Precinct. Okay, so they're doing a whole bunch of remedial work down here, and they want your feedback on what works and what doesn't. Upper Cascades. Okay, I think that's it, huh? What's the time? I don't really know. I've got my other phone in my tactical bag, so I wouldn't have a clue. What time do I start? About 8:30. So I would say it's probably pushing around 11. I don't think it's quite lunchtime yet. So I'll bid you farewell from down here in the car park, and there'll be one last sign off once I get back to the vehicle. So back up on the roadway here. Look how thick this tree was here. They've cut it and started shooting out again. If anyone knows what this thing is, I remember a couple of years back we were wondering what this was. So if anyone watches this video that lives up in this area, let me know what that is. Is it an electricity substation or something? It does say something on the door there, but I'm getting wet here. So I've got to try to make it back to the car. I'm wet enough as it is. More tracks that are closed. More landslides down there. Just coming up to where I started in the morning. I don't think this was it. It was a little bit further up, but this was one of the ones that would take you down. Closed. I hope this camera is waterproof. Some sort of monument here. Telling you where everything is. I'm not quite sure if that's going to come out. All I can see is just a wet screen. Oh, it's just told me to conserve battery power. Looks like the phone is starting to run out of batteries as well. This is where we entered. The car should be just up here on the right. And that's it. We'll call it quits. It's probably been, apart from going down to, I've got the Explorer here, slowing down for me. I don't know if that came through, but the bus driver gave me a wave. Apart from Empress Falls, where we were lucky enough to catch them canyoning that time, that day was a very wet day. I can remember sitting in at some cafe up the top there, and we were absolutely soaked, me and Jules. So this is where we entered. And just on this little slip road here is where I've parked my vehicle. Let's just hope I've got no ticket, which I shouldn't, because it doesn't say you can't park here. And it looks like I'm all fine. So I would call that a success. So I shall bid you farewell from up here at stunning Leura on this wet and misty and foggy day, until I see you again on the next adventure or explore. Adios.